Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and we are live for round 12 of the ORL Season 10 here at the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's been a week and we're back Thursday as usual. Just waiting for everyone to join the lobby and then we will be underway very, very soon. Right. Oh. Okie dokie, guys. Right, so I think we're all almost ready. Velociphoton is in the lobby, the man himself who won last time out in Germany. Formula Danny is also in. He came in a close second. No, he came third. He almost managed to win though. However, he was unable to beat his teammate Veloci James on track, and after his 3-second time penalty, he did lose out. An early jury is here, as is Calcifer, of course. Those will be the big guys. And don't forget, VP Mark, or just Mark 313 as it is now, is also in the lobby. Jury, look at that lag. Oh man, I feel so bad for you, mate. Elsing is also in. He still is continuing his record of finishing in the top 10 every race. VSR Muller has also recently joined the lobby, as is Zara. Zara is fairly fast actually. And when will Bianca Lila be joining? Right, and as usual guys, if you do have any questions or any of that kind of stuff, do let me know. I'm always more than happy to join on the chat and all of that kind of stuff. Right, also, as Black Panther was mentioning, we have got a couple of home drivers, namely, wait, where's he gone? Oh yeah, there he is, Velocity Formula Danny. Also, VSR Soren is joining us today. Who is Muller's teammate from AOR Split 2, if I remember correctly. Just typing away frantically on my keyboard. Just want to check up everything completely. Will Crow be joining us today, actually? If that comes through at some point. We still only got 18 players in the lobby, and that's including myself, so still got another 3 to join at least. Right. Oh, and Flex Marcia is also racing with us today. Probably should have mentioned. So, 8 very, very quick drivers. And VP Marek as well. So expect him to be right up in there for the battle for the podium. Right, we've got 20 players in the lobbies, again, including myself. So just waiting for one more, I would believe. Who's in the second Ferrari? Flexus Marcy, okay. So he's filling in. So I expect Ferrari to have a very strong run, have a very strong overall finish today. And don't forget, you've got Black Panther and Mark in the Haas's, so they will also be quick. Just don't want to jinx any of them. So we will be underway shortly as we get the 21st person into the lobby. Fine liner. So both Formula Danny, Flexus Marcy are Hungarian, of course. And Photon. So we've got 3 Hungarians for their home Grand Prix in ORL. So I'm sure they will be fairly determined to do well. So is this fine liner? Is this apparently there has been okay? So we do still have one place. Fine liner has been removed from the lobby, it seems, because he's not actually part of ORL. So still waiting, just for a little bit longer. Oh. Also Matthew's back, he is in the McLaren, and Zara as well. So Shez and Crow not racing today. They're usually our drivers in the McLaren team. And Flex's Marcy is filling in for Manuel Biancalila. And obviously new drivers today are VSR Sauron and VP Marek. I believe they are both AOR split 2 drivers, so very quick, so watch out for them in the race. I'm sure they will be battling around that podium position, maybe even for a win. So still got one more spot in the lobby, I think. Unless it's not including me. I think it's including me as someone in the lobby, so. Oh. Let's go, guys. I think we're almost ready to get underway. Who is John Engberg? That is the question. But we now do have a full lobby, so I'm sure we will be ready to get underway. Right, and the countdown's on. Right. Right, so we're finally underway here for the Hungarian GP practice. Right, so away we go then for finally for round number 12 here at Hungary. As usual, guys, you know, let me know if you have any comments at all, you know, volume, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's... Oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. I just wanted to check if I had the ORL logo in the right place, and I believe I did. Right, so who is out on track then? We've got Weke and Black Panther just ahead. So you know what, let's ride on board with the man himself, Mr. Panther. Although, as I say that, Eneli Jury is just a little bit ahead. So, Jury's a little bit quicker. So, we'll stick with him for the time being. Why not? Don't forget this Hungarian track, very, very high downforce setup needed here. You don't have many high-speed straights, high-speed corners. It's all about having that downforce. And a lot of opportunities to actually abuse track limits, and we do have to be careful because we have lost drivers due to track limits. Last time, Eneli Jury almost got disqualified. He had 5 penalties, but he managed to stay on as it was deemed that one of them was taken as avoiding action. Meanwhile, VSR Mola actually got disqualified. He had finished 4th last race, and he got disqualified due to having too many penalties. However, we do ride on board with Jury now. He brakes very late, about 50 meters, maybe a little bit too late. And Milo already has a 5th place grid penalty for a collision with Toffee. Look at how much curve he uses. Fair bit of front end lockup. Doesn't seem to have that front end grip just yet. Maybe he'll add a few clicks onto his front wing. Casper will get well out of the way. Just a quick downshift, comes a little bit wide. Macy gets well out of the way of Jury. Meanwhile, Panther is not too far behind. Oh, Jury 1's really wide through that right hander. Right, here we go. What kind of times is it going to be? It's going to be a 17.8. Elsing is at an 18.5. What about Panther? He's coming around the final couple of corners. DRSR is not quick at all. Right, who else can we sit on board with? Whoa, that was... Here we go, Soren, he's on his lap. Or is he starting a new lap? I think he just set a lap, but it didn't count. What about Formula Danny? Okay, he's on an out lap. Calcifer is on his hot lap. NLE Jury's further ahead than Calcifer there. So let's stick with Jury then as he attempts to actually put a time on the board. So in qualifying, you're probably going to be looking for 1:14s then for fastest lap. Don't forget, Calcifer currently leading the championship, and both Crow and Mustard White Lilac aren't racing today, so he has a massive opportunity to stretch his championship lead, while NLE Jury's at 17.5, and that puts him to the top of the standings for now. What about Black Panther? He's a fair bit off the pace. Soren will of course be very quick. What about Formula Danny? He's further back. And I believe, is that a Renault of... That's a Renault VP Mark, actually, right now. So let's just see what kind of stuff... Again, everything's a bit light-hearted in qualifying. Not qualifying, in practice, sorry. Where does Mark go? Mark goes third with a 19.2 and Soren puts in a 19.9. Who shall we ride on board with? Calcifer. Let's ride on board with Calcifer. He's trying to improve on his 20.7. Or back in, stepping out a fair bit. What kind of time is it? It's a 19.7. Right, let's stick on board with Formula Danny for a bit. He is absolutely flying. Currently set an 18.1, and that was on the medium players. NLE Jury, as usual, is at the top of the standings early on. Muller's going to get well out of the way, and Formula Danny's going to come into the pits. Well, that's one way to overtake someone. Meanwhile, Johan Engberg, I think I pronounced that right, he's moved up to second. This is his first time racing with us in ORL. So hopefully we get to see more of him through the rest of the season. But he's already showing his pace. Jury's into the pits as well. Let's stick on board with Engberg. Or back end massively stepping out through the chicane. Black Panther's well out of the way there. But Engberg, his back end is so light as he goes through turn 9 and now into the chicane of 11 and 12. Oh, sorry, 10 and 11. That's if you can call it a chicane. And someone has spun there. That was Flexus Marcy, who is now out of practice. So that's pretty massive for him. He's out of practice. He won't get a chance to really, you know, make any adjustments to his setup or anything like that. Meanwhile, Engberg is not on a quick lap. He will be getting himself ready to start a new lap. Oh no, he's coming to the pits. That was a weird kind of lag that we got. Who can we stick on board with? Elsinger has just set in an 18.4. Let's stick on board with Mark, who's just a couple of car lengths behind Soren. Soren's just a little bit faster than him, it would seem. Again, riding the curb, but just a little bit more through the chicane of 6 and 7. Have to be so easy and patient on the throttle through these corners. It's so easy just to get on the power a bit too early. The back end steps out, run a bit wide, invalidated lap time penalties and all of that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's stick on board with Soren for now. See what kind of time he can pull out of the hat. He's looking quick, almost touching the grass on the entry into the final corner. But he gets a decent exit. He doesn't improve his 20.2. What about Mark? He's well off the pace. Let's stick on board with VP Marek for now. He's currently sitting in 7th. Through the final corner we go. DRS, and it's going to be an 89, but it does not count on the leaderboard, so he must have gone off. And I thought there was almost a moment there as VSR Miller was coming out of the pits. And who is that ahead? Is that Jury? No, it's Reeves. He's had a moment, clearly getting on the power on the exit of turn 1, probably putting the DRS on and the back end stepping out. But Mark is closing back in on Soren on his 2nd lap. What about Danny? Danny is on a lap. Let's stick on board with him for a bit. Or you can take that left hand at the top of the hill, turn 4, so quickly. Just barely a lift if you've got your setup right. Drop it down into 3rd for the chicane. Ride the curb. Just those downshifts are so slick from Danny. Johan Engberg, will you get out of the way? I think he's getting ready to set a lap, so he won't want to get out of the way, but he does get out of the way eventually. Oh, whoa! And he's lagged back in the way. And Danny pushes Engberg out of the way. That was interesting. Formula Danny moves up into 1st with a 17.2. I'm not quite sure what Engberg was doing. I know he was getting ready to start a lap, but that's our 2nd retirement from practice. Hectic practice session. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. So Sector 2 starts from just over the crest here. Let's see if Formula Danny can improve now that he has a clear track ahead of him. In fact, let's take the scenic view. I think that is VSR Muller closing in on him. I think that's a Toro Rosso. And it's probably not going to be Weke. He's got a clear turn 14 this time. He gets on the power. I think he's going to come in the pits. No, I think this has been a cool down lap for him. So here we go now. He's got the power on. VSR Muller very close behind. Let's just double check if that is Muller. Yes, it is. Who is unable to improve, it would seem, as well. Let's see, is Jury on a lap? Jury's just started a lap, unable to improve from his personal best of a 17.5. Let's see, is Soren or any of these guys close to finishing a lap? Let's take on board with Soren. He's currently a 10th up on the medium compound tyres, as he does have a bit of a moment with his back end. Again, these tyres are quite old. He's done 6 laps on them. Don't forget that this is showing the detail of their current fitted tyres, not what they did their fastest lap on. What kind of time is it going to be? It's a 19.2. He does improve and he moves up into 7th for now. Marek is a bit off the pace. Let's stick on board with Black Panther. I think he's about a second. Yeah, he's a second down at the minute, so this isn't going to be a quick lap. What about VP Marek? Can he improve on his 19.3? He does, but it does not count. Let's stick on board with VSR Muller. He is well off the pace. Who else? What about Barney? Barney, he's just put in a 20.8, but that's not going to be enough. Black Panther's down. What about Jury and Formula Danny? Neither of them have really improved just yet. Let's stick on board with Formula Danny for a bit. It is his home race after all. Photon currently in, has not set a time. I was going to say currently last, which he is, but he hasn't set a time yet, so kind of unfair. Don't forget, guys, if you do have any questions about ORL, that kind of stuff, comments, do let me know on the stream. I'm always more than happy to get in touch. If you've got any like requests, like a driver to ride on board with, or anything at all, let me know. Or even questions to ask in the post-race interviews. Still on board with Formula Danny. He does come into the pits though. Jury though, what kind of time is he going to be able to set? It's going to be slow. It's an 18.5, not quick enough. Elsinger's into the pit. What about Mark? He's done a 19.2, so pretty much the same as what he had done before. Both Haas's very close to each other currently in 6th and 7th, so watch out for them in the race. They both seem to have decent pace. However, Elsinger also looking very quick currently with an 18.4. If we do go over to our detail and check up fastest lap, VP Mark did his on the medium tyres. We'll stick with the fitted tyres for now. But let's stick on board with Marek for now. Almost running a little bit wide through 12. Massive lock up on the front left tyre, sorry. Back end stepping out as my voice breaks somewhat. But this is looking like a decent time. It'll be better than his 19 that he's currently set. And it's a 118.6, which is enough to move him up into 6th place. Meanwhile, Mark is getting ready to set a lap time. Clearly wasn't happy with the lap he was on. He definitely could have improved on that 20. As there's a bit of traffic coming out the pits now, however, none of them really get in the way of Mark. As VP Marek leaves the session. I thought he said he left the session. My bad. Oh, massive lock up from Mark as he just tries to pull the car in onto the apex of 3. As he loses the back end, somehow he saves the car. But that will be the end of his lap. Formula Danny is on an outlap, but we've missed this. VSR Muller has gone to the top of the leaderboard with a 17.1 on Super Softs. However, NLE Jury is on those Ultra Softs and will be looking to go even further ahead. Oh no, he's not. He's coming to the pit, so clearly he wasn't happy with that compound of tyres. Who is on a lap? Mark is going to back off. Sauron, Calcifer, none of them are on lap. But let's stick on board with Velocity Photon, who is on a lap right now. Let's see where he can put himself. It's going to be a 16.6 and Photon will move to the top of the leaderboard by over half a second. As I said, qualifying, expect to see some 14s. These guys, they set these ridiculously quick laps and they still have a second in the bank for when qualifying comes around. So don't forget, these are also on the soft tyres. No, none of them are going on the super soft tyres. Formula Danny barely a lift through the left-hander at the top of the hill. Whoa, look at him fighting the back end that wants to step out of him at all costs. He rides cover on the second part of that chicane. Now into 6 and 7. Now we've got 8 and 9. Sorry, 10 and 11, sorry, beg your pardon. Bring it down to 4th gear. Drop it down then to 3rd. Oh, that gear drop was so nice. On the power again. It's looking very, very quick right now. But let's see what it is when he crosses the line. It's going to be a 16.7. Not enough, and it does not count as his lap time has been invalidated. Photon's in the pits. He says he's done enough. He's going to take a bit of a break now. What about VP Marek though? He's on a slow lap. So is Panther. Barney set an 18.5, or an 18.8, which is his fastest time on the ultra soft tyres though. So again, you don't really want to be starting on the ultra soft tyres. You want to be starting on the soft tyres. You want to do a stint on the softs and medium. If you go on the ultra softs, you will have to do 2 stops. Let's stick on board with Jury though. He's on a hot lap. And Jury's going to come in the pits. Practicing his pit entry, and he almost loses the back end. Somehow he catches that. That was ridiculous. Elsinger's on a slow lap, so smart. Formula Danny though, he's found 3/10 on his personal best. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 16.7. Not enough to pit Photon, but that is currently a Hungarian 1-2 at the Hungarian GP. Here at the circuit, Magyar Nagydic. I think that's what it's called. But here comes VP Marek. What kind of time is he on? It's not fast. It's an 18.2, which is his new personal best, but he stays in 7th. Black Panther sets a 19.4, not enough to improve. Soren is in the pits. Barney is on a hot lap. What about Calcifer? He's on an out lap. As VSR Muller sets a new fastest time. How am I always missing these guys? And he's lifted out. It was a fair bit quicker actually. He's gone to first. He was in 3rd before. I thought he was currently leading. I got that wrong. Formula Danny not on a hot lap. Is he going to peel in the pits? Yes, he is. Photon is in the pits. Jury just going to warm up his tyres. Whoa, massive moment on the back end from Jury, and he will lose his front wing and retire from the session. Trying to carry too much speed over the crest of turn 4, and it's just so easy to lose your back end when you do that. Question is VSR Muller getting to set, and is he getting ready to set another lap or not? Let's see, maybe Marek is on a lap. Yes, he has just started his lap. What about Black Panther? He hasn't been able to improve yet, so let's stick on board with Marek just for a little bit. Oh, he does have to lift. Jury tried to take a flat, and he did get punished for it. But it's very close between the front 3, less than 2/10 separating them. And then there is a massive drop to Mark. But expect Marek to join onto these guys eventually, because he is also in split 1. So, whoa, massive moment off the back end from Marek through turn 12, sorry. 9 to 30, you can just hear the tyres screaming out as you almost drift through the corner. To be fair, you do hear a lot of this here at the Hungary GP. And Marek is into the pits. Right, let's see. VSR Muller, he is on a hot lap. He's 4 thousandths up on his previous first sector time. VSR Muller will be looking to make amends after he got disqualified from the last race due to too many penalties. A little bit of a moment through the right-hander. He does catch the back end fairly quickly. Myler won't get in the way. He's too far ahead. You don't want to touch that curb. It will kick you out. So early on the power, fighting with the back end the entire way. This is looking fairly quick. What kind of time is it going to be? It's a 16.4. and it's faster, but it will not count. So Muller must have exceeded track limits somewhere. Calcifer is up to 4th though. Where has that come from? Calcifer up to 4th place on the soft tyres. As Marks it's a 17.4, so he's moved up to 5th. What about Sauron? Sauron was up by almost 2/10, but he's lost his back end. Let's just stick on board with Mark then for this lap. Formula Danny's also on a lap. Whereabouts is he? Oh, let's stick with him then. It's a 16.7. I think that's what he did before, sorry. Let's ride on board with Mark. Again, don't want to touch that curb. It is pretty much an auto spin curb. Can Mark find a little bit of more time and jump Calcifer? Formula Danny with a 27.6 in that first sector. But VP Mark has entered the third sector. Sorry, Mark. I'm not sure, he doesn't have his club tag on anymore. What kind of time can he pull? No, he's going to be starting a new lap now as he tries to get the best exit possible. Let's see what Formula Danny can do. He's got Matthew ahead, but Matthew should not get in the way. I think he's a bit too far ahead. Back in stepping out, Matthew pulls into the pits. Whoa, back end, massive moment from the back end there. It's going to be a 16.3. Formula Danny moves up into first place for the time being. Very quick lap from him. But VV Marquis found a little bit of time in the first sector. Only 4 minutes of practice left. Don't forget, Jury, Johan Engberg and Flex Marty have all retired from the session, as Mark gets a bit too much oversteer through the first part of the chicane, which compromises him through the left-hander. There's a yellow flag in sector 2, that's somewhere around here. Okay, it must have been before. Mark is at half a tenth up, down at the minute. Can he find that extra time? Can he pit Calcifer? He might be able to jump just ahead, but there's quite clearly a difference between the top 3 and everyone else right now. Mark will peel into the pits. What about Soren? He's not on a lap. Black Panther, he's very slow at the minute. Meanwhile, Marek is on a lap. How quick is it? I think it's reasonably quick. He should get into the 117s this time around, hopefully. And that's a 16.5 from Marek. He moves up into second place. Very quick lap. I did say Marek would be joining everyone here at the front of the pack, and he has done it now. So I think you can clearly see who your top 4 who are going to be racing for the win are going to be Formula Danny, Marek, Muller and Photon. Calcifer, he touches the auto spin curb, but he does get away with it. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. Everyone's pretty much set their best tyres on the softs. No one really wants to consider the ultra softs and how fast they would be. Black Panther running a bit wide through turn 4. Let's just stick on board for a bit. Formula Danny's coming out to set a new lap. What's his delta? He's too slow right now. Let's move up to the guys at the front. Calcifer's on a hot lap. What about Muller? Formula Danny is retired from the session. Let's stick on board with Calcifer then. He's almost a second down on his previous best through that first sector. Photon's retired as well. As Soren sets a 17.8, so that's his new personal best. He moves up into 9th place. Mark starting a new lap. Calcifer's 3/10 up through the middle sector, so whatever changes he made isn't helping him through that first sector, but it's helping him through the second sector, so maybe he's just added a bit more downforce to the car then. Yellow flag in sector 3. Myler went as Binder under the brakes into the final corner. That will be his session over, but Cal and Calcifer find a bit more time. It's a 16.7 and he's jumped onto the back of the Photon bandwagon. Myler has gone 6th on the Ultrasofts. We know how much he likes to put on the fresh set of tyres and cause an upset in qualifying. What about Mark VSR Sauron? He's on a hot lap. Let's stick on board with him for the rest of this lap. Actually, Muller's just ahead, so let's see what he can do first. He will get one more lap in. Sauron sets a 16.9, but it doesn't count. What about Mark? He's coming towards. So Sauron has a bit more pace. Again, he's set at 16.9, so expect him to maybe just join to the back of the bandwagon as well. And bridge the gap between the likes of Calcifer to Myler and VP Mark. As VP Mark sets a 17 flat, he moves up into 6th place. So all of them finding time towards the end, but don't you guys worry. The fastest time in qualifying will be a 15 flat. Meanwhile, Calcifer is 3/10 down at the minute. Muller's retired from the session, so just 2 minutes remaining. Calcifer runs a little bit wide. Will he find the time? It's a 17 flat, not enough. Soren, he's backed off a lap. Let's stick on board with Bond. He's 4/10 down. Twin Barrel J, he's 4/10 up, but he's on those ultra soft tyres. So we'll see an 18 something from him. 18.6, he moves up into 14th place. We're going to have an interesting battle for 10th place then. Johan Engberg, Black Panther Elsinger probably battling for that 10th place, best of the rest. Milo will be there as well. Don't forget, he set his best time on the ultra softs. Toffee's on a slow lap. Matthews in the pits. Twin Barrel J. Nice end to his lap. Right, so that is the end of practice. We will be heading into qualifying very shortly, and then 20 minutes after that, so at about 9 o'clock, we will begin the race. And there we go, that is the end of the session. Guys, let me know your predictions for qualifying. Who do you think is going to put it on pole? My money, personally, is on Formula Danny. Home Grand Prix, I reckon he can do it. Formula Danny Photon, front row lockout. Hungarian front row lockout for the Home Grand Prix. But yeah, let me know, guys, what you would like to see for the race, what you'd like me to talk about, all of that kind of stuff. Get involved. Use the chat. Oh, look at those lap times, 16.3. He found it right at the end. But yeah, VP Marek also very, very fast. So I believe we will be going straight into qualifying. I don't think we'll be invited for... Right, come on. Hello, Fixer1001. How are you doing? But yeah, don't forget, for those of you guys who are joining us, this is round 12 of the ORL Season 10, and qualifying has just begun. So as usual, guys, let's enable all of this kind of stuff. I reckon Enelija is going to be the first one to come out of the pits. Get out fast slap, put on the fitted tyres. Let's see, where are you, jury? I know you're going to be out first. Oh no, it's Twin Barrel J, I think. Will anyone come out in front of him? Does anyone dare come out in front of him? No, I think that's going to be Elsinger coming out as well. But let's sit on board with Twin Barrel J. We don't get a lot of chances to actually ride on board with him. Calcifer and Elsinger not too far behind. So let's have a nice on board out lap and hopefully a hot lap with TBJ. as I like to say. He is on the ultra soft, so again, don't forget, those guys who aren't expecting to get into the top 10 will qualify on the ultra softs, because they will get the chance to select a brand new fresh set of tyre for the race. They don't have to start the race on the tyres they start on. Only the top 10 have to. So expect the likes of Twin Barrel J, Toffee, Elsinger, Barney, Matthew, Weke, Zara, all to be on ultra soft. Myler, Black Panther, Flexes Marcy, they will probably qualify on the tyres they would like to start with, because they will be around that kind of 10th place zone and they probably won't want to risk it. But we'll see. Who's that? Is that Calcifer right behind? Come on, Calcifer, don't do this to us. Oh no, it's not Calcifer. Oh, he's let Elsinger through. Well, we have to be on board with the first hot lap of the day, so we will sit on board with Elsinger then. Don't forget, this is Mr. Consistent himself. He hasn't finished outside the top 10 in a single race. No other driver in this series has been able to do that. Even Calcifer himself has had one DNF. But Elsinger, he has a little bit of a front right lockup as he slows down the car for the first right-hander. And we go for turn 2 now. He doesn't use up all the curb on the right. That's something we see some of the AOR Split 1 guys do. But he does have a massive moment with the back end. He does catch it though. Now going up the hill. How fast will he go through turn 4? He does drop a gear. Not that confident then. I do like it when you watch the likes of Formula Danny go almost flat through there. It is incredible. But through the chicane, have to be super patient now when you're feeding the power in. So easy to lose a back end or just run that bit wide. Very patient. You have to be very patient through sector 2. Again, now you approach turn 13. Need to be early on the brakes. The exit is far more important. He doesn't quite get up onto the curb. Again, want to stay away from the curb of this turn 14 because it is almost an auto spin curb. Now through the final corner. He'll take a slightly late apex, get the power on DRS as soon as you can. Don't want to lose it back in. It's a 17.6, but expect the fastest lap to be a 15. Twin Barrel J almost instantly beats that. Where's Calcifer? Calcifer is unable to set a lap time. It is disallowed. Mark has just set a lap time, but again that wasn't allowed. Barney has been forced off. Let's sit on board with Weaves as he's coming to the end of his lap. VSR Muller has put in a 19.5 on the medium compound tyres. Weaves running just a little bit wide. And on he goes with the power. It's looking actually fairly quick. 17.5. That puts him in second, but it is on those ultra soft tyres. Elsinger has run wide. Let's sit on board with Black Panther. It's not a fast lap right now. He is on the medium tyres. But VSR Muller is looking very quick right now. He was 1.5 seconds up through that first sector. Here we go. Sector 2, 2 seconds up. So he's already on for a 17.4. Formula Danny set a 16.9. He's done on the ultra soft tyres. Interesting tyre choice there from Formula Danny. I think VSR Muller might just pip him though. Let's see. It's a 16.7 and he's done it on the medium tyres. As I said, the fastest lap will be in the 15s. Let's see what Formula Danny's first sector split is. He's 9/10 down. Weaves is a little bit faster, but not fast enough. Photon is slower as well. Zara is slower. Black Panther, he's found 4/10 through that first sector. He'll be hoping maybe to get on around the same kind of time as Photon and Elsinger. If you can get into the 70s on the medium tyres, that is good considering that Panther is in the midfield battle. As VSR Muller, yeah, he set a 16.7. It's an 18.2 from Panther. He's ahead of Zara, but he is on those medium tyres. So expect him to come in the pits, put on a set of soft tyres. Myler, plus 0.911, 911. What kind of delta time is that? Jury, that time won't count. VSR Muller is a bit down. Who's on a quick lap? You know what? Panther's slow. Let's sit on board with Jury because we know he is quick. Oh, just a little downshift. Beautiful. He'll be hoping to get into the 16s, and I think he will be able to do it. Oh, the downshifts are beautiful from Jury. I'm not going to lie. That is just absolutely amazing listening to that. Doesn't drop down to 5th for the right-hander of 11. Down to 3rd you go for turn 13. There's 2 corners remain now. Use up the curb on the right hand side as you turn in. Sauron sets an 18.6, but that's not that quick. It's slower than Panther, and they're on the same compound of tyres. And only Jury on the power. This is looking very quick. It's a 14.9. What a lap from Jury, but he is on the ultra softs. So Jury, will everyone react? Will they put on the ultra soft tyres or not? Let's stick on board with Muller. He is on a fairly quick lap. Expect this to be a 1:15, maybe a 1:16. He's going to head into the pits. Whoa. And he's missed the pit lane. He's going to have to go around do another lap. That could cost him massively, actually. Mark has set an 18.1 on the medium tyres, so that's good, again, considering it's on the medium tyres. But again, they are over a second off the pace of Muller and Danny, who are on medium tyres. And Weke set a 16.7 on Ultrasoft, so that's a very quick time from him. Much faster than Weebs. It's very quiet in the garage. Sauron is going to head into the pits. He was half a second up on those medium tyres, so he could have set an 18.1, would have been on the same kind of pace as Mark. Pardon me. Marek is half a second up in that sector. Again, Marek is quick. We saw how much pace he pulled out at the end of practice, so expect him to do the same here. He's going to come into the pits. Calcifer is on a hot lap. Expect this to be about a 1.6. This is going to be about a 1.16, 1.15, I reckon. It's not actually. It's going to be a 1.18. But he did slow down massively through the last corner, so he's probably setting himself up now. Is Flex's Marcy on a lap? Johan Engberg has done a 27.3. Flex's Marcy just warming up his tyres. Where's Formula Danny? Formula Danny's on a hot lap. Let's sit on board then. Again, he is on the medium tyres, so he said his fastest lap so far on the ultra soft. So let's see how much time he can find on this medium set of tyres. Again, guys, if you have any comments, any questions, anything at all, drop us a message on that YouTube chat and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Here we go, we're going to see the delta for sector 2. Oh, I forgot, new tyres, so it doesn't show the delta, just shows the time. Right, will he be able to get into the 1.15s with this? He's on the medium tyres, so I don't think so. He'll get into the low 1.16s, but I think that'll be about it. However, I'm going to eat my words, I'm sure now, as he through the final corner he goes. It's going to be a 1.16.4, a very quick lap on the medium set of tyres. However, he had a bit more time. Myler, though, 16.6 on the ultra soft tyres. Thing is, as Myler, once you set that kind of time, you have to commit to the ultra soft. You are not going to beat that on the soft tyres. Meanwhile, Engberg has set a 16.8 on the soft tyres. And VSR Muller, he set his best on the soft tyres as well. No, he set it on the medium tyres. I'm going to change it to best. Okay, he's coming into the pits. Who else do we have on a lap? Weebs is slow. Zara slow. What about Elsing? He's about to come through the end of sector 2, so we'll get to see his delta very shortly. Or maybe not. Photon's a bit off. So we've still got Photon, Marek and Calcifer to set in their quick times. Sorry, Mark, Photon, Marcy, Marek and Calcifer, they all have to set their quick lap times. Oh, back end stepping out. This is going to be quick from Elsinger. It's a 17.4, and that moves him up into 8th place on the soft tyres. So he's about 6/10ths down on Engberg. He's the only other person who's done a lap time on the soft tyres so far. What about Muller? Here we go, Muller on a new hot lap. He's on the soft tyres. So he wants to try and pit Formula Danny on the softer tyres. Maybe even have a shot at jumping Jury. But Jury set a new fast time. It's a 14.7. Jury is on fire right now on that ultra soft compound of tyres. But he will have to do a 2-stop strategy. Well, back end almost stepping out. It's always on the verge with these guys. Right, let's see what his delta time is. Oh, he runs a bit wide. Will he get a warning for that? Well, we'll find out when he crosses the line. Black Panther set a 17.3 on the soft tyres. He's jumped just ahead of Elsinger. So a good lap from him. Maybe he can get ahead of Weebs. If he can just find a little bit more time. But this is looking quick from Muller. What kind of time is it going to be? It's a 15.7. That puts him in 2nd place for now. Oh, Weke has a moment. That is turn 5. He's lost the back end. Oh, this is looking fairly quick from Panther. I think this might be a 1:16. It's a 17 flat. He does jump just ahead of Weaves. But again, Matthew is just ahead. So is Engberg. And Panther didn't get the best of runs through that final corner. So expect him to peel in the pits. He will be able to improve just a little bit, I reckon. Who is on a hot lap out of these guys? I'm just going to scroll through until I find someone on a hot lap. Panther... Oh no, he's not going to be on a hot lap. He's going to be coming in the pits. Let's stick on board with TBJ. I think he's on a quick lap. Again, he's on his ultra soft tyres. Oh, Weebs and Black Panther, they've had a moment. I'm not sure if Weebs was on a hot lap though. He did back out of it. So maybe Black Panther will get a retrospective penalty for the next race. Toffee well out of the way of TBJ. I missed Twin Barrel J's sector time. VSR Muller is back out on track. I'm going to take a look at what tyres he's on in a second. This is looking like it's going to be a 1:17. So very close. Maybe he can jump just ahead of Elsinger. It's a 17.2, so he will jump ahead of Elsinger. 300ths down on Weeb, so very close between those two. And VSR Muller has retired from the session. So he must have made a mistake, and he must have made a mistake then. Okay, everyone is on their outlaps. Weke, unable to find more time. Sure, Myler. Okay, we'll ride on board then with Myler for one hot lap. Where's NLE Jury though? Is he on a hot lap? No. Okay, let's stick on board with Myler then. Your wish is my command. However, we do have to keep an eye on Mark and Soron and Marek and Calcifer. They're all on hot laps, and Calcifer will put in a time. Let's see what his delta is through the first sector. Can he find that little bit of time and possibly jump ahead of Formula Danny? What's his delta time going to be? Oh, I hate it when it does that. But it is looking fast. He does have to brake a bit for turn 4. That isn't the best. You just have to have the guts when you go through that corner. Oh, understeering massively into the chicane. Will compromise him. Nice little downshift. But again, running wide. He seems to have a bit of understeer. Maybe needs to add a couple of clicks to the front wing. But park firming conditions now, so he will be unable to do that. Calcifer and Soren, they have moved up into 3rd and 4th on the soft tyres. We have missed that. That's a 16.2 and a 16.3, which has pushed down Danny and Myla. This is going to be a 116. Again, a little bit of understeer, just not patient enough. What time is it going to be? It's a 16.5. It's not enough from Myla. What about Formula Danny though? Jury is safe at the minute. Mark has moved up into 8th place at the minute. Marek moves up into 2nd with a 15.6 on those soft tyres. So a very quick lap from him. But Danny, he is on the soft tyres. He will want to have something to say about this. Can he take pole? I don't think so, but can he take 2nd? It's a 15.6. He takes 2nd place by 0.04 of a second. Marek is not on a hot lap. Calcifer isn't. Soren is. What about Mark? Mark isn't, so it's just Soren left. What about Photon? Here we go. Photon on the soft tyres. What can he do? It's a 15.6. He jumps Formula Danny. How close would you like it between Photon, Formula Danny, Marek and Muller? 1/10. That is crazy, and all of them on the soft compound tyres. Who else is on a lap? Mark is slower. Marcy has retired. He's down in 15th. Not what he wants to see. Johan Engberg, he's on the ultra softs. Surely he'll find a bit of time. Can he get into the top 10? This is definitely a 116. He's coming into the pits. He doesn't have the feeling in it, clearly. No one is there on a hot lap. Toffee seen the flag, so that's the end of the session. It is Eneli Jury who's taken pole because he is on those ultra soft tyres. Everyone else is on the soft tyres apart from Myla and Weke. Black Panther on the soft tyres only managed 14th. But look how close it is from Weke. There's about half a second separating Weke to Twin Barrel J. It is crazy close here for Hungary, and I'm sure we are all set up for a thrilling race. So guys, don't go anywhere. The race will start in just a few moments. But I do want to take another quick look at the time. So if we take a look, Weke on a 16.7, and then Twin Barrel J, less than half a second separating all. That is crazy close. That is stupidly close. But again, watch out for the likes of Engberg, Panther, Marcy and Elsinger. They are on the soft tyres. So everyone on the ultra soft will have to do a pit. So guys, I need to get ready to do my standard introduction to a race. So I'm going to start recording, and it's going to sound a bit weird, but just bear with me. Alright. Sorry for going quiet, but I do have to do this intro at the start of every race when we enter the race session. But yeah, we've got a very, very entertaining race ahead of us. Okay, and again, as usual, guys, if you have any questions, all of that stuff, just drop a comment and I will get back to you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 12 of our ORL Season 10 here at the circuit Magyar Magidich at Hungary. And do we have a race for you? It's extremely, extremely close. But before we get into it, we do have 3 new drivers. We have VP Marek, who is an AOR Split 1 driver. We have VSR Soron, who is an AOR Split 2 driver, and Johan Engberg, who is an AOR Split 3 driver. So very quick drivers, so definitely watch out for them in the race. Don't forget, Velocity Formula Danny, Velocity Photon, and Flexus Master are all Hungarian, so this is their home race. And Photon and Formula Danny are starting 2nd and 3rd, so watch out for them, as they will, I'm sure, be extremely, extremely hyped to try and win their home Grand Prix. However, qualifying was an extremely close affair. Jury, however, put on the ultra soft tyres and he stormed to take pole. However, everyone else was on the soft tyres and there was a 1/10 of a second that separated Photon, Formula Danny, Marek and VSR Muller. So, expect a very, very tight and close battle between those guys. Also, it's close in the midfield. Weke, who qualified 10th, he was only half a second quicker than Twin Barrel J, who's in 17th. So, we have a very, very close race at the front of the grid and towards the back of the grid. Also important to mention, we have a lot of different tyre compounds being selected. Most people are on the soft tyres. Oh yeah, of course they're on the soft tyres. If they qualified on ultra softs in qualifying, they can put on the softs for the race. So it's only Myla, Weke and NLE Jury who are on the ultra softs. I'm just going to write that down. Right, so we're going to put on position change because that is usually the best thing to do. We want gap to be to the leader. No, we want interval. So let's turn that down now. Here we go. 5 red lights. And away we go for the Hungarian GP. Jury seems to get a good start on those ultra softs. He moves straight over to the inside, but Photon's got a great side. He's moved up into 2nd place. Can Formula Danny hold it around the outside? He can. Photon runs a bit wide. He pushes out VSR Muller. Can Calcifer pick up the pieces from that? Let's just stick on board with them. It's getting very close. There's a lag spike from someone. Who is that? Soren's getting a massive lag spike. But Photon is going to hold on to 3rd place as VSR Muller and Marek are side by side up the hill. Calcifer has gained 2 places though. Right, what other changes do we have? Matthew's gained 3 places. It's a great start from him. Black Panther's gained 3. Zara has gained 4. And Twin Barrel J has got 2. Mile is the big loser. He's fallen down to 13th. Johan Engberg, he's fallen down to the back of the grid. So has he had contact? Let's stick with VSR Muller. He's had dropped down the grid a fair bit. He's dropped 1 place actually. Only 1 place. Myla has dropped down another spot. We constantly see this from Myla. He doesn't have that pace at the start. But Weke is having a shot down the inside of Matthew. But he can't make it stick. Let's stick on board with Black Panther for a second. Johan Engberg has left the session. So I'm not sure if he's had an incident. But it's very close between these guys right now. Panther is within DRS. Well, DRS isn't enabled right now, but he's going to go for the outside. Meanwhile, if we look behind, Myla is looking for the outside of Barney, and Flexus Marcy will follow him through. But Black Panther can't get the move to stick on Weke. Flexus Marcy is going down the inside of ORL Barney, but we're going to head back up the grid. Because Photon is closing in on Formula Danny. Don't forget, Milo, Weke and Jury will be pitting early because they started on the ultra soft tyres. So currently the big winner is Matthew. currently sitting fairly low in the championship, so some big points on offer for him. What about Mark? He's not too close. Whoa, he has a massive moment with the back end. Matthew's way too far back to capitalise on that though. However, look at this train. Calcifer is holding people up. VP Marek closing in. Not often we say that Calcifer has a choo-choo train behind him. But look at this. Photon is closing in on Danny. Who do we stick with? Let's stick with Muller. He's within 2/10 of Marek, so we might see a little dive bomb into turn 1. DRS has just been enabled. Right, Matthew and Weckett are battling for position. We've got over here just in time. We've got Black Panther just behind. There's a little bit of contact. Can Myler take advantage side by side with Black Panther for the minute? Black Panther will hold it. He does have the inside for turn 3. But let's look ahead. Matthew. He's going to back off as Sauron picks up a time penalty. Right, I need to write down the penalties as Black Panther gets very close. It's too close right now. Flexes Marcy's also catching up, but Matthew runs wide. He's going to drop a lot of positions. He's also lost a place to Barney and Twin Barrel J. So from running in 10th place, he's down to 15th. That's a massive mistake. Flexes Marcy having a little look at Myler, but we have to go forward because DRS has been enabled. Can Photon pull something off on Formula Danny? Formula Danny just too far behind to get DRS off on Jury. VP Marek, here we go. He's looking for the inside on Calcifer. Can he do it under the brakes? Side by side. And he will make it stick. Meanwhile, VSR Muller, can he have a little look? Almost contact. There's a yellow flag for some reason out. Let's stick on board. VSR Muller, he's got a decent run, but getting the move to work into turn 4 is very difficult. Meanwhile, Myler is very close to Wecker. He's run wide. He's done a bit of a massa, but he's down the inside of Flex's Marcy. Side by side now into the chicane. No way is he going to go for this. As Barney has a bit of contact with Myler, Myler had to back out of that massively as expected. Has Barney lost a piece of his front wing? That could be a massive shame for him. He was doing so well. But Black Panther is in 9th now behind his teammate Mark. So he will be trying to close that down. However, VSR Muller, we have to stick on board with him because he will have DRS on Calcifer. Calcifer also has DRS though. So maybe he will have to wait for next lap. However, Jury is into... Jury has been overtaken by Danny. And VSR Muller had to back out of that. And Soren has picked up the play. So we missed 2 incidents there. But what's happening with Photon? He's looking to get the switcheroo on Jury. Jury must have made a mistake through the last corner or something. Velocity Photon will get the better drive through turn 4. Can he get the cut back through 5? He does. He will have the inside for the chicane. How brave does he dare be? Side by side, he can't make it stick. But again, he's got another cutback. And he's got the inside for 9 now. And he holds it around the outside. A great move by Photon and a great battle between the two of them. But look at this now. VP Marek is right on the tail of this battle. Down the inside he goes. Marek will move up into 3rd place. Great battle. Sorry, great move I mean. And look at this train behind Jury now as his tyres start to wear off. He will come into the pits this lap. I'm a great commentator. I knew he was coming in the pits. His tyres are completely gone. Muller though, he has made his way back past Sauron. And he now has DRS on Calcifer. Can he make it work this time around? Calcifer goes defensive. Muller will go for the outside. Little bit of a lock up. Let's look on board from Sauron's perspective. Muller having a little look. Sauron, Calcifer tries to leave the door open. Oh, Sauron has a massive moment. VP Mark will close right up onto the back of this then. But look at this. Muller almost taking a look down the inside, but he will have to back out of that. Where are the battles? Do we have Matthew, Barney and Elsinger? We have a massive battle going on here. As Matthew and Barney, whoa, three-way collision there. And Jury almost gets collected in that. That was crazy. Barney and Matthew, I think, went wide and got collected by Mila, I feel. I can't remember who was involved in that. But we caught it. We caught it on camera. Hopefully that hasn't affected Jury's car in any way, shape or form. That would be a massive, massive shame for him. However, Muller is on the back of Calcifer and he will get DRS. Calcifer doesn't have DRS to save him this time. So you will expect Muller to get the move to stick. Calcifer, he's not going to pull off a Schumacher. Remember Schumacher Barrichello back in 2012. And Muller makes the move stick. Can Calcifer possibly have a go? Oh, Muller runs a bit wide. Almost a little bit of contact. And now VSR Muller can try to hunt down this lead group. Going back, Panther currently in a solid 8th place actually, so really good showing from him. Mila is down in 9th. Don't forget he did have to pit onto that new set of tyres. So let's just quickly, whoa, gap, interval, detail, tyre. So who has pitted? Jury has pitted, he's in 12th. Expect him to get past Elsinger. We'll stick on board with them just for a little bit. Also, watch out. Calcifer is being hunted down by Soren right now. Or Jury's trying to have a look into the fast-flowing left-hander. But he might just have to go in for the right-hander. Elsinger's going to go defensive. Side by side. Jury will hold it around the outside, though. Great move from Jury around the outside into turn 12. Oh, wait, hang on, what am I doing? What am I doing? Calcifer, Calcifer! Oh, he just got it to stick. We just missed it. I completely forgot that Calcifer had that almost contact into turn 2. But look at this. VP Mark is closing in. And there's a bit of contact, I feel, between Calcifer and Soren. It's also getting very close between Jury and Twin Barrel J. Nothing's going to happen for a bit though, I feel. Let's stick on board with VP Mark. And as I say that, Jury gets past Twin Barrel J, so I think Twin Barrel J let him through. As Soren has a moment. Oh, and it's a brilliant dive bomb there from Mark to move up into 6th place. Can he close down Soren now? He will get DRS. How far is Calcifer? Calcifer's too far behind to really take advantage of this. VP Mark, he won't be able to make the move stick, but oh, will he go for Daniel Ricciardo? He has a look, massive lockup. Well, not a massive lockup, but a lockup nonetheless. Meanwhile, Jury and Flex's Marcy are side by side. Jury on the fresh soft tyres. So Jury has made light work of everyone around him. As Photon picks up a 3-second time penalty, that could be crucial. What about Toffee though? Toffee and Weebs are very close together. They're running side by side. Weebs is going to hold on to his position though. Right, but Mark is closing in onto Soren. And we're getting the glitch where Mark's car sounds like a whiny piece of something. But here we go, VP Marek closing in onto Photon as Barney picks up a 3-second time penalty. Marek, he's got his DRS, but he's just too far back. What about Mark? Again, too far back. Who is close to someone? No one is really close to anyone as Zara and Muller. Zara getting out of the way of Muller. That could have been close. Oh, Photon and Marek both running a bit wide. Photon running wide and Marek ran even wider trying to match Photon's breaking point. But Jury is on fire at the minute. Setting very, very, very quick laps. However, Soren and Mark are slowly closing in onto Zara, who's getting lapped. Don't forget, Johan Engberg did have to retire from this race. What about Marek? He just can't seem to close it in onto Photon. And Photon not yet in DRS range of Danny, although it does look like he is slowly closing in. However, Toffee is closing in on Weebs, it would seem. But actually, now that I say that, Mark is fairly close to Soron as Zara's just got out of the way. Can Mark have a go into turn 1 this time round? And just behind you can see Calcifer. Here we go, VP Mark is going to go for it down the inside. He will have to back out of it. But he does have DRS for the straight that goes into turn 2. As Drew says, another fastest lap of the race. He just can't quite find a way through Mark. As we see Zara running a bit wide through turn 3. Better luck next lap. However, Toffee is fairly close to Weebs. No, not close enough though. So what can we stick on board with? Let's stick on board with the Jury for a bit, because he is setting fastest lap after fastest lap on his fresh set of soft tyres. Though Matthew and Zara have both pitted, as Twin Barrel J picks up a time penalty, that could be important. Because he is currently in 11th place, not too far back from Flex's Marcy. However, do watch out for Myler, because Myler will be closing in onto everyone very soon. He is on his fresh up tyres. Mark too far back once again from Soron. Will he have a little dive bomb look? No, I don't think so. I think he's even further back this time. Maybe? No, I don't think so. There's a bit of a lock-up. Who is getting close to who? Let's go back to Toffee, who is closing in on Weebs. Elsinger also not too far from Twin Barrel J, so we've got a bit of a battle going for 10th place now. Toffee goes for the late apex. Mark picks up a 3-second time penalty. But Toffee has the DRS. He will have a go into turn 1 this time round. Weebs does get the better exit though. Could he possibly try to hold it round the outside? Weebs got the better exit, but Toffee had the DRS round the outside of turn 2. Can he make it stick? He has. Weebs has held on to the position. Great racing between the two of them. But this is fantastic news for Myler, who is closing them up. Twin Barrel J and Elsinger getting fairly close. What about Mark and Soron? Velocity Formula Danny is unable to keep up his pace, and Photon is closing up to him. As Muller is in the pits. So Muller is the first to blink of the lead guys. So expect all of these guys to come into the pit soon, especially Formula Danny, because he doesn't seem to be able to keep up the pace for now. However, let's sit with Elsinger. Actually, he's too far back, but Toffee is very, very close, as Marek gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, and there comes Myler. I think Toffee let his teammate through. Toffee has, Myler has DRS, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. And Muller picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. However, the fight is getting interesting for first. Now, Velocity Photon closing into Danny. So we've got a proper fight on our hands now for first place, as it's really heating up. Jury's only half a second from Black Panther though, so you might see Black Panther letting him through later this lap. And Soren gets it properly slowed down. Jury's going to go for the late apex. And it's a beautiful run out of the final corner. Panther will go defensive, but I don't think he's going to really be able to do anything. Muller and Soren have come out in 8th and 9th place. So Jury's only a little bit behind Soren, so that's not bad for him. However, sorry, Jury's ahead of Muller and Soren, which is pretty good considering that he is on the soft tires. He does have one more stop, but he is a fair bit ahead. He is behind Marek though, and Marek has pitted. Marek is the one who just came out of the pits ahead of him. What about Elsing and TBJ? They're too far back. Photon and Danny though, what's going on here? They're approaching the final couple of sectors as Flexus Marcy is into the pits, so he's in the pits now. As Jury picks up a 3-second time penalty. Will these guys come in the pits? Photon's going to come in the pits. Can he get the undercut to work? Let's see in a lap time. Formula Danny will blink to Photon. Jury is so close to Marek. Marek can't get his medium tyres to work. Don't forget though, Jury, when he does his next pit stop, he will pit onto another set of soft tyres. As Marcy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Will he have a little dive bomb? He takes a look. Is it contact? Almost. But he forces Marek to leave the door open crucially. And now he has DRS. There's contact actually. I think Marek just understeered slightly, but Muller has come out right behind the pair of them. Look how close Jury is. And there's not much Jury can do about that, as VSR Muller is going to close up to them. So Formula Danny, he has to be putting in the lap of his life now if he wants to pit and come out ahead of Photon. This is the one and only pit stop, don't forget. Myler is up to 12th place now. You see he's still got Elsinger and Twin Barrel J to pit ahead of him. Black Panther, when he pits, he'll come out around Myler. And Jury's unable to hold back Muller. We kind of just saw that. Will he have a go into the right-hander? They both lock up slightly, but Muller will hold on to it on his freshest set of tyres. And now Marek has got his tyres to work. But, crucially, Marek is really close to Photon. And Formula Danny hasn't pitted this lap, so he's going to keep on going. Will we see a late stop onto the Ultra Softs? Zara gets well out of the way of Jury. And Panther's in the pit, so let's see where Panther will feed out then. Expecting to come out around Myler. He's going to come out ahead of Myler, so he's on fresher tyres than Myler, and he's further ahead. So Black Panther's pretty much got it to work on Myler. Twin Barrel J and Elsinger still have to pit, so he will come back out in 9th. So a good job from Black Panther so far, considering how far down the grid he started. However, Marek closing in onto Photon. Formula Danny will be hoping that these two will battle. However, Soren is closing in on Mark. I think Mark jumped Soren in the pits. I can't remember what the order was. And don't forget, you've got Elsinger really close to Twin Barrel J. I'm just going to try and keep an eye on the Marek gap to Photon, because they will be coming in to start finish straight soon. As Mark understeers a fair bit, that will cost him, and Soren will be able to get right onto his tail. As the front guys are all setting fast lap after fast lap, Soren, he doesn't seem to get the exit carry, just a little bit too much speed in. Marek, I don't think he'll be able to get it to stick. Let's stick with Soren though. Will he have a little look? He does have a little look, but he's not going to go for it. Maybe into turn 2. Meanwhile, Elsing and Twin Barrel J is into the pits first. So that promotes Black Panther. He's only 3 seconds down on Elsinger actually. So he's in great shape right now. And Sauron picks up a 3-second time penalty. That is his second time penalty of this race. Where are the close battles? So the battles really are currently Mark and Sauron. And then you've got Photon and Marek. But Photon is closing into Formula Danny. The gap was 21 seconds. It's now 19. Formula Danny's in the pits. But he's going to come out so far back. There you can see. You can't see Photon yet. There's... No, that's not Photon. There's Photon. Formula Danny still has a way to go down the pit straight. There we go. Formula Danny now out onto his fresh set of tyres. Can he stay ahead of Muller though? This is going to be crucial. Muller will get the cut back. He doesn't get DRS though. Side by side into turn 2 they go. Who will get it to stick? VSR Muller tries to get the cutback, but it's not going to work for him. And Marek picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's his second so far. Oh, a little bit of contact. That could have ended badly for both of them. But don't forget, actually, Jury is in great shape right now. He is currently in 5th. He's not in great shape for the win, but when he does pit, he won't come out that far behind VP Mark, and he will be on much, much fresher ultra soft tyres, most likely, or soft tyres. So he will be racing Mark, Sauron, and Calcifer for 6th place. However, Myler on the fresher tyres. Oh, actually, I say that, but Marek is closing into Photon. And Muller is closing into Danny. But Danny has fresher tyres, so don't expect that to be much of an issue. Maybe a little dive bomb from Marek. No. Can he get within... He is within DRS range, but not the best exit in the world. And we can't get the exit from those two. So Myler is not... Myler unable to keep up with Flex's Master. You came into the pits only a couple of laps ago. Twin Barrel J, also expect him to close into Myler. Myler does have to make another stop though. That is the issue for him. Let's stick on board with Barney. Barney and Toffee about to have a battle as NLE Jury picks up his second 3-second time penalty. However, we've got a battle between Marek and Photon. Marek must... I think they were side by side because Photon was ahead to begin with. But the top 4 are all closing up together now. So we are in for a real treat. So I think they must have just gone side by side just for a little bit, as there is a yellow flag in Sector 2. I'm not sure what that's for. But Black Panther is on the tail of Elsinger now. Photon trying to... Photon maybe just lost the back end there. Marek too far back. Matthew picks up a 3-second time penalty, but he's too far away. Flex's Marcy picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's his second time penalty as well. What about Elsinger, Black Panther? Black Panther's too far back right now. Whoa, we're having a massive moment, but look at this. Marek is going to have a go. Back markers have massively affected this battle, and Marek makes the move stick round the outside into the chicane. A great move from him, but look how close the front 4 are. We are in, as I said before, we are in for a real treat. But can VP Marek pull away now? Now that he's got a pass ahead of the bottleneck of Photon. Keep an eye on Black Panther and Sauron though. They're behind Elsinger and Mark respectively. And Marek has seemed to be able to pull the pin so far. Also, look at this. Jury is closing in on them as well. But this is going to be interesting now because Muller has the double DRS. So we might see a massive change of positions into turn 1. So Formula Danny makes a move stick. Photon went defensive, but not defensive enough. However, what is going to happen into turn 2? Will Muller have a little look? He does, but Photon has a look at Danny and can't quite get it to work. But Muller has now got a really good exit through turn 3, but you can't really make the move stick into turn 4. However, let's go down to Elsinger, Black Panther. They're side by side going into turn 1. Black Panther will get DRS for the second straight. I think he should have it. VSR Muller is getting very close to Photon. We're going to switch over in just a second. But it's still side by side between Panther and Elsinger. Again, Elsinger's on much older tyres, so I'm surprised that he is fighting for this. But Black Panther does get it to stick, unsurprisingly. But look at this, Photon and Muller side by side, and Muller got it to work into the right-hander of 13. And Photon now peels into the pits. So 6 laps on the medium tyres and he just can't get it to work. So maybe he flat spotted his tyres. I don't know. Let's ask him after the race. Let's see where... Oh, he lost his front wing. So we have to ask him about that. That's for sure. However, Formula Danny is closing in on Marek. And all of a sudden, Jury is... When he comes out of the pits, he will be around Photon. So if he was to pit now, he would come out just behind Black Panther. As Sauron picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's his 3rd so far. And Elsinger's into the pits. So after Black Panther got past him, he peeled straight into the pits pretty much. Sauron still unable to find a way past VP Mark, sorry. Meanwhile, Milo on fresher tyres down in 14th, as is Elsinger, so expect Elsinger to climb up a little bit. Maybe he can catch up to Flexus Marcy, but I'm not sure. Was Formula Danny is just a bit too far back. DRS just not OP enough at this track to help them out enough. And Jury's in the pits. Okay, let's see what kind of tyres he's going to put on then. It's the soft tyres are ready for him in the pit lane, so that's interesting. And Miler's just got past Twin Barrel J. Are they still fighting for position? No, Twin Barrel J has let him through. Twin Barrel J, I think he's lost a piece of his front wing. He seems to be understeering a lot. I think he lost a piece of his front wing. Yeah, he's lost part of his front wing. That's I'm fairly certain of that. So that's a massive shame for him. He was running quite well down in either 12th or 13th. But Soren is closing in on Mark. However, Mark will get DRS from Barney, possibly. Yeah, actually, guys, we will have a vote for Driver of the Day. Try to be objective, but no. At the end of the race, 5 laps from the end, we can have a vote for Driver of the Day. Soren really closing in. Formula Danny's too far back. VSR Soren, he's just too far back, but he will get a better exit. Could this be his time to finally get past Mark? He's going to have a look down the inside. There's contact. But VSR muscles his way through, and a good move from him, I feel. So I feel that Mark closed the door slightly unfairly, but Muller picks up his 3-second time penalty. Whoa, as there's a massive ghosting there. I'm not quite sure what's happened, but Soren and Mark are battling once again. Mark down the inside into turn 6, I believe. Turn 5, sorry. And Mark, it will get the position to stick. Great move from him, and Calcifer is closing up to them now. So great stuff. But Muller closing in on Danny, who's closing in on Marek. So we've got a fight here at the front. 11 laps to go in this race, round 12 of the Hungarian GP. Still close, but what about Soron? He got the move to stick, but there was ghosting that went on, which massively helped Mark get back in front. So Mark taking advantage of the ghosting in the game. So what are the battles left? We've got this battle for 4th place. NLE Jury could close in on them, as could Photon. Black Panther's probably a bit out of this. So I think the main battles is Photon Jury closing into these guys, and then obviously the 3-way battle for the lead of this race. Oh, Soren loses the back end. That's going to be his chance over for this lap. Can Muller possibly have a shot at Formula Danny? Don't forget, Formula Danny has the fresher tyres of all of these guys, so he might be able to pull something out of the bag in the last couple of laps. Marek taking very late apex. Let's take the scenic view, shall we? Again, not much to talk about now, no real battles. Jury and Photon, as I mentioned, on fresh soft tyres, so they will eventually close up to these guys of Calcifer, VSR Soren and Mark 313. As Flex to Marcy picks up another 3-second time penalty, that's his 3rd as well. Don't forget, Marek has 6 seconds worth of time penalties, while Formula Danny doesn't have a single time penalty. So as it stands now, Formula Danny will win ahead of Marek and then Muller. VP Mark, he has 3 seconds of time penalties, but Soron has 9 seconds. So Calcifer will jump him, as will possibly Jury and Photon soon enough. Jury has 6 seconds of time penalties, so don't forget guys, in this, time penalties do play a massive factor. But let's go down to Soron, who will be trying as usual to close in to his arch nemesis for this race of Mark. It's closing in between Formula Danny and Marek. They're just at the end of this straight. But Soron is super close. I don't think there's going to be anything there. So maybe something between Soron and Mark. No, Formula Danny just can't quite get close enough to Marek yet. But again, those fresher tyres starting to kick in for him. But keep an eye on that gap from Jury to Calcifer and Photon to Jury, because they are on the fresher tyres. And Flex's Marcia's DNF'd. What has happened there? Let's see if we can ride on board with Elsing and see what's happened. Elsing was 12 seconds and Marci ran into the wall. You can see his car, it just went off there. So that's crazy. Marci is out of the race, and all of a sudden Myler will have a shot of battling for 10th place with Elsinger. But look at this. Formula Danny super close to VP Marek. He will surely have a go this time. What is this view? He has a go for the inside, but Marek brakes super late. Oh, and Marek's into the barrier. He almost connects VSR Muller. And Marek, what have you done? Trying to get on the power just a little bit too early. Trying to compete with Formula Danny's fresher tyres, and it has cost him. Hopefully for his sake he hasn't lost his front wing. I think he has though. He seems to be understeering a fair bit. And all of a sudden, Mark is in contention. Mark and Soren are now battling for 3rd place if Marek has to peel into the pits. Let's just ride on board with him for a bit. I think he has lost his front wing. But Soren is so close to Mark. And now Photon and Jury will presumably jump Marek as well. But Muller is closing in onto Formula Danny. Will he have a little look into turn 13? No, he won't. How close can he get? Formula Danny has more battery power, but will he fight for it? He won't actually right now. Will he try just to go for the cutback? Watch how much earth he releases here. He's releasing a fair bit. Oh, wrong button. And Marek is in the pit, so Mark has been promoted. Oh, and he almost loses his back end, but he can't quite hold it. Meanwhile, Soron, he hasn't been able to make it stick either. VSR Muller has taken the lead of the Hungarian GP, and Soron again can't find a way through. NLE Jury is now only 7 seconds behind these guys though. And Soron has picked up another 3-second time penalty. That's his 4th. If he picks up one more, he will be disqualified from the race. Meanwhile, where is Marek? Marek is in 8th on ultra soft tyres, so he will close up onto Photon and Jury massively. Can Formula Danny get a good drive? He's got more he's got more energy, than Muller. Maybe that will be able to help him just a little bit. He's going to go for it. Can he Daniel Ricciardo style it into turn 1? Muller leaves the room. But let's take a look. Soron, he's too far back. He can't get the exit out of that final corner. But he gets a great run. Or at least I thought it was a great run. Mark taking the middle of the road. Soron is almost finding the inside as Mark runs wide through turn 2. No, he's not going to go for the inside into 4. And Mark picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's his 2nd time penalty. But Soron has 4. So even if Soron gets past, it won't really matter. Calcifer is going to jump both of these guys. And Photon actually might jump them as well if he can close in enough. But let's go. Formula Danny closing in once again. VP Marek, he has a 3-second time penalty. That's his 3rd of the race. Formula Danny though, he's got DRS, he will take a look. Muller goes defensive. This is the battle for the lead of the race, for the win. Black Panther picks up a 3-second time penalty. Is there contact? I saw wheels touch, but Formula Danny has the inside into turn 2, and he's made it stick. Formula Danny retakes the lead. Great battle between the leaders. And Muller will not be able to have a go now. Formula Danny has no penalties. Muller has 6 seconds. So Formula Danny pretty much has this in the bag. Soron still unable to find a way through. This is a great defensive drive from Mark. Where are our other battles? Photon still not close enough to Jury, but Jury is closing in onto these guys. Muller picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's extremely crucial. He's got 9 seconds of penalties now, and that's pretty much cost him the race, pretty much. He's not going to be able to pull out 9 seconds from Formula Danny. Unless Danny runs into the wall or something. But here we go. Muller has DRS. But Danny has more Rs, and Muller just can't get as much speed as a result. Danny saved his Rs well through that lap. However, we've got Soron. Soron can't get the drive. And Marek sets a new fastest lap of the race. He's only 6 seconds behind Photon. And again, side by side between Soren and Mark. But Mark will hold it. Great driving by Mark. He's been hard but extremely fair. Right, let's stick with these guys just for a bit. And VSR Muller loses the back end slightly. That would cost him. Twin Barrel J also closing into Barney, but I don't feel like that will actually be worth anything at the end. We might see a battle between Miley and Elsing. I'm not sure what their penalties currently stand at. Velocity Photon closing in Jury. Kaltov is right on the back of this now. Has Soren run out of tyres? And Marek has a 5-second stop-go penalty. And that's his 4th one. And Marek is DNF'd. Where has he DNF'd? There's a yellow flag down here somewhere. Kaltov has a 3-second time penalty. Muller getting closer and closer to Danny, but Kaltov is so close to Soren now. Soren doesn't seem to have the tyres. He's wasted his tyres. Look at the understeer. Has he lost his front wing? What has happened at the end? And Jury is closing in like crazy. And Photon, you can see Photon right on his tail. Soren is going to stay out. We've just got one more lap to go. VSR Muller is right on the tail. This will be his last chance to take the race win. He goes down the inside. Is there contact? No. Formula Danny has the inside now for the right-hander. VSR Muller, will he have a cheeky little look? No, he can't. Kaltov, meanwhile, has taken Soren. Soren will have a little look down the inside into turn 3. Will there be contact? No, there won't. However, how close is Muller? He's close, but he's too far back. Plus, he has the 6-second time penalty. Don't forget, guys. Let us know who is your driver of the day. Look how close Soren is. NLE Jury is right on this as well. So is Formula Danny. We've got loads of battles going on. But we have to stick with the battle for the lead. It's only fair. But if Formula Danny is going to do it, he is going to take his 2nd win of ORL. He did it before in Austria. He's going to do it at Hungary. Formula Danny wins here at Hungary. But we can't stop there because we still have a battle going on. Look how close Jury is to Soren. Jury will pass on anyway on time penalties. But it's going to be a great 5th place possibly for Jury. No, he's going to take 6th because Photon will jump the pair of them. Wait, it's not the end of the race. Why did I think it's the end of the race? We still have another lap. And Jury has passed Soren. I don't know why I thought that was the final lap. I do apologise. But look how close Velocity Photon is. Photon's going to take the outside. And I saw a time penalty pop up, but I'm not sure who that is for. Mark has 6 seconds of time penalties, but Kaltov has 3. So Kaltov cannot jump Mark as it stands. And Soren has another 3-second time penalties. He will be disqualified from the race. Panther will move up into 7th place as it stands. Muller is close to Formula Danny. This time it will be Danny. He will take the race win this time round. Jury and Photon are extremely close together. But Formula Danny will come round to take his 2nd win of ORL here at Hungary at his home track. And it is a great win for him. But let's stick on board with these guys. It's getting extremely close. Almost contact. Give it another lap. Kaltov would not have held on to 4th place on track. And it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 3/10 of a second separating the pair, all three of them. And Soren just didn't have the pace and will be disqualified at the end, unfortunately, due to time penalties. Which means Myler will take 10th place and Weke will pick up the final point. So those are your final results, guys. So crazy race. Great battle between Formula Danny and Muller at the end. And to be fair, Marek with that DNF at the end, he lost his front wing, had to pit, and then he got an extra time penalty right at the end. But guys, let me know, who is your driver of the day? So the final results are Formula Danny ahead of Muller, from Mark, from Kaltova, from Jury, who stays ahead of Photon after the time penalties. So Photon had a lot of penalties. We only saw one, but apparently he must have had more, because I have Jury as having 2 time penalties. So Photon must have picked up a lost penalty. But massive congratulations to our winner, who is of course Veloce Formula Danny, followed by VSR Muller and Mark 313. Mark with a great race, actually defended like crazy from Marek. Sorry, not from Marek, from Soren. So let's just recap our final positions. Velocity Formula Danny takes first place ahead of VSR Muller, followed by Mark. Kaltova takes 4th. Jury takes 5th, followed by Photon. Jury and Photon both have the same amount of time penalties. However, expect Soren to be disqualified as he has 5 penalties. If you have 5 or more penalties in an ORL, you do get disqualified post-race. Black Panther had 1 time penalty, but it wasn't enough to change his position. He takes 8th place and picks up 4 points, which will be crucial for the championship. Elsinger in 9th, and Myler picks up the final point of the race. So guys, I think it's time now for the post-race interviews. So there's your screen for the final time. And as usual, guys, we are now going to close the F1 game and head straight in to the Steam lobby and essentially just have our interviews. And guys, if you have any questions that you would like me to ask the drivers, or you would like to ask the drivers, drop a message on the chat and we will ask the question. I'm going to leave the session and I'm going to close F1 2018 now. So unfortunately you will just be seeing, actually what I can do, I've closed F1 2018. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick break, and we will be back in a couple of minutes to start interviews. Right, I'll see you guys in about, yeah, in a couple of minutes. And I should say, don't go anywhere. Right guys, and we are indeed back. So what I'm going to do is let's go back over to our streaming page, and no, we're going to go to this, and we're going to turn on the monitor. So now what you can do is you can see the constructors standings and the driver standings and all of that, which I feel like will be somewhat useful for this race. Okay. So without further ado, let's head. Oh, sorry, wrong buttons. I need to get my phone thing up. Let me just make sure Streamlabs is running. Yep, all good. So I hope you can hear me. Okay, let's head in and do the voice channel. Hey guys. Oh. Hey guys.
Hello from the other side.
Right. Okay. Formula Danny, are you ready?
I am always ready.
Yes. So, we are with our race winner, Velocity Formula Danny. Your second win of ORL, how does it feel?
It's 2 out of 3, but 3 out of 3 for Veloce, as we are in the league together, so it's pretty successful. I like this race a lot. I hope you watched us battling for the lead with Müller, with Marek and with Photon. Unfortunately for him, there was a lapped car who didn't really find himself right position on the track, to be honest, and he damaged Photon's wing, but it was still a freeway battle to the lead after Marek made a mistake, but as far as I'm concerned, he had some issues with the PC as well, so maybe half-half blame, but Müller was there all over the place and all over the race, so it was an amazing thing to live, and I really enjoyed it.
Just quickly, whoever's got the echo in the background, could you mute your mic, please? Okay, sorry, go on.
So yeah, this is it basically. I still hear my echo. I don't know who is it from, but yes, this was an amazing race, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Right. So that battle there you were having with Photon and Muller, in the last lap, it got super close with you and Muller. Did you ever get to a point where you thought you were going to lose it, or just talk us through?
To be honest, I always had the confidence in my positioning, in my ERS management and fuel management, so I was quite confident that I can get a race win. I tried to be smart strategically, save tires for the last few laps, and I didn't bother myself when Müller overtook me first, because I know that there was still a few laps to go and I can re-overtake him. But of course, in the last 3 laps, I tried to defend as hard as I could, but I think it wasn't that close. We weren't even really side by side. I think I managed to always have the good exits in the last corners, and it helped me out to get the race win. But yes, in terms of time, it was only 3/10. It's extremely close, and Müller is only an F2 driver in AUR, but he is developing himself in a really quick way. So I look forward to battle him in the next few races and see how he improves his skills further and further, and I'm sure that he will continue challenging for the victory.
Nice words. Thank you, man.
I did want to ask, because towards the end of stint 1, Photon pitted, and you didn't pit for another 3 laps. I was expecting you to pit straight after and react, but you decided just to go on for those extra laps. Was that just because you knew your tyres would just be that much better at the end, or?
No, to be honest, at that point I just wanted to have fun, because if I pit the same lap or a lap later, then I have the lead and that's it. But I thought that how exciting it would be if I pit like 4 laps later. I will have fresher tires, but I can go full attack and enjoy the race more.
Right, and final question. It was your home Grand Prix. Does that make it a bit more special?
Yeah, it makes it special because this is the track I hate the most, to be honest. In real life, it's amazing. You don't know how amazing it is. Elevation changes, the asphalt is very unique as well. A lot of twitchy sections. But here, unfortunately, and I don't want to criticize the game that hard because Codemasters is doing his best job to do this game right, but this is just cannot convey the same emotions to me, this track, in the game as it does in real life, and I just don't enjoy driving here because the curbs are very unexpected, or I don't know how to say it, but it's very random how my car works there. I look up a few times, so maybe my skills are not perfect here neither, but I need more practice then. And just the way the track goes in the game, with the corner cutting as well being very strict, and you can never attack like real drivers do in real life in this track, and I don't know if it's good or not, but I just don't enjoy it as much. So yes, this is still special, but not in the good way, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Well, thank you again for talking to us, and best of luck for the next race.
Thank you very much.
Right, Muller, are you there?
Yes.
Right, we're with second place man, VSR Muller. Go on, talk us through that race, because you had a fantastic battle with Formula Danny.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Danny, for your nice words. I'm hoping we can fight some days in F1. But yeah, the race was quite cool. As Danny said, I don't like Hungary either, because the chicane in Sector 2, it's ridiculous what you can do and what you can not do. But yeah, my start was okay. Got a little bit pushed wide by Photon, but I think Marek was on the inside of him, so yeah, it was okay. And then I think I lost some seconds behind Calcifer, but I managed to overtake him and to be I don't know how to say what I was, but I was happy with my pace because I don't, as I said, I don't like Hungary that much. But the battle in the end was really nice, and I think it was the best battle I ever had on this particular track.
Great. Do you think there was any slight mistake you could have made, or if you went back, anything you'd do a bit differently to try and go for that race win?
Maybe I shouldn't get that much time penalties. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna back because they're like a lot of random.
Right.
But yeah, I was happy with my driving style, and that was so fast because I didn't thought that I could be so fast on this track. So yes, it was cool.
You're climbing up the championship very quickly. Do you think you can catch up to Calcifer?
I don't know how large the points gap is, to be honest, but I don't know. I think we are now halfway through the season.
Yeah, roughly.
A bit more. So I don't know. Maybe not. We will see. We will see.
And are you looking forward to Belgium? Is that a track you do enjoy?
Yes, it's my favorite track. So
mine too. Favorite track.
See, you say that. The last time we asked someone if the next track they enjoyed and they said it was their favorite track, they went on the one, and I think that was Mark who did that, and that was for Canada. So you should be in good fortune.
Yeah, Belgium is I don't know. I just like every corner on this track. Right. Think actually I was for the AOR time trial events. I was quite fast there. Was my fastest track compared to the other drivers. So we will see. I'm hoping that I can win, but I don't believe in it.
Okay. Well, best of luck for that race, and I'm sure you'll do a fantastic job. And thanks again for joining us.
No problem, thank you.
Okay. Mark, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, right. So we were with Mark, who was an absolute beast when it came to defending his position. You had an insane race. Just what was going on there? Because he just couldn't get past.
Yeah. I wasn't very happy with my qualifying, and it's very difficult to overtake on this track. That's why it's called Monaco 2.0. And I wasn't happy with my setup, and yeah, the practice didn't help a lot. So luckily I got the overcut on Soren, so yeah.
You guys were wheel to wheel, and you had made the mistake. Then all of a sudden, I saw some ghosting, and then you were down the inside into turn 6. What was happening?
I can sing anytime if you feel too much quiet.
I wish I could sing, but no.
Oh, I'm gonna stay well away from singing. Yeah. So what happened with the ghosting with Soren? Then, wait.
What happened to Photon?
He lost his wing to a left car.
Ah, shit.
And he was like behind that car for nearly 2 sectors. And I mean, once he even got passed by Marek because of that, but Marek let him notice that they are there. I don't know what he was doing.
Can you hear me now?
He broke his wing. Yes.
Yes.
I don't know how that keeps happening. I need to, like, it doesn't say that I'm muted, but yeah, okay. Right. So there was one moment, Mark, where you and Soren, you were side by side. He had got past, and then all of a sudden I saw some ghosting, and then you were back ahead. So, just curious as to what happened there.
Oops. Sorry.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think he maybe lagged or something. I don't know.
Fair enough. Well, a great.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, a great battle for you. And is Spa your favourite track as well then?
Belgium.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, yeah, it's a good track. I like it.
Well, best of luck for that race, and a great podium from yourself. And best of luck for the race.
Thank you.
All right. Who shall we go with next? Wait, who came fourth? Was it Calcifer? You came fourth, didn't you?
Yeah.
A few incidents ahead of you, but how was your race anyway?
Lost bit of time at the beginning and then couldn't catch Mark and Soren. And then, yeah, lost time behind Soren in the end. Was possible to get third, but yeah. I lost bit the front wing behind him.
So you say you had the pace, but again, qualifying went fairly well, I think. Where do you think?
No, it didn't.
No?
It didn't.
No.
No. No. I just got one lap.
Oh yes.
And it lost the last time. Yeah.
What do you think? Apart from qualifying, what do you think went wrong in the race then?
I think in the end, just I got stuck behind Soren. I got penalty and lost front wing. If I would have been third, I would be happy, but not today.
Yeah. If you hadn't picked up that last penalty, I think you would have just jumped Mark by like 0.3 of a second or something.
Yeah.
It was quite tight. And as I was asking Muller, how safe do you think your lead at the top of the standings is?
Depends how Miller will do, but yeah. If he's,
well, I will try it.
If you're there any race or all of the races, then you could catch me.
Yeah. Because I think.
But
Muller,
catch me if you can. Catch me if you can.
Because I was going to say, I think Muller, Danny, and Photon are getting quite close to Crow, I think.
Yep.
So, as we've been saying, how do you like Spa?
I like it. It's one of my favorite tracks. Yeah.
Okay. Well, best of luck for Spa, and thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
Right. Oh, God. I can't remember who came after Calcifer. Was it Sauron or was it Panther?
Should be Sauron.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
it was me.
Sauron, you had, as I was saying to Mark, you had a fantastic battle, but it just seemed that you couldn't get the drive out of the final corner.
Well, first of all, I think that it was a very disappointing race for me. I didn't have a good setup, I think, and I was sliding a lot during race. Quali wasn't really good for me too. I was very far behind some guys like Müller or Photon or Danny. So yeah, it was a big disappointment, and well, then it was very tough because I had to try to overtake Mark after his overcut. Fortunately, cold tires was very tough for me, so he was able to overtake me, and yeah, then it was quite complicated, I want to say.
With about 3 laps to go, you kind of fell off the pace. Were your tyres just gone by that point?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
I was saying, like, a few laps before the end, you started to fall back. Were your tyres still alright, or had they, fallen off the cliff?
My tires was good, to be honest. But yeah, no, it was the front wheel we were damaged. I hit Mark because well, I didn't think that it will break earlier, and I just moved in fact to show that I was here, and when I come back to my trajectory, he breaks, so I hit him. I'm quite sorry about that. But yeah, then about the move that Mark called when we were side by side, it was a technical issue, and the problem is, I don't know if there was also a technical issue, but I see that it just hit me at the chicane, and so I weren't able to pass the chicane.
Well, unlucky that you couldn't get past Mark, but it was great entertainment from a viewer's perspective. So thank you for that race, and best of luck for your next races in AOR and ORL.
Thank you very much.
Panther?
Yes.
Right, so is that going to be your last race then for a while, or will you stay for your home race?
I think this is my last race for in January, so I will miss Belgium and Italy. But I'm gonna look if I'm ready with studying at Thursday, and I think I can do my exams well. Then maybe I can join for the days, but probably not.
Yeah. But you didn't have the best of qualifying sessions. You qualified on the medium tyres, and you qualified, I think, down in 16th or something. But you had a great race.
Yeah, it was not so good to qualify. I was expecting to be higher, but yeah. But the race was pretty good and didn't make any mistakes, I think, and yeah, didn't much happen, but it was a good one.
Well, I feel weird because I feel like I'm cutting it much shorter than I did with the others, but hopefully we will, of course, see you at Belgium. And of course, it was a great race through the field, and you qualified. You didn't get a qualifying lap last time out in Germany, so this isn't going to be a trend, is it? Where you have bad qualifying and then you're flying through the field in races.
Well, I hope it just be a good qualifying and a good race at the same time, but yeah, need to work at it, I think.
Okay, right. Well, thank you for joining us, and best of luck, and hopefully we will see you at Spa, so crack on with that studying.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Myla, are you there?
Yeah.
Right. I think you had quite a few fans watching on the stream.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they watched today and talked to me during the race. It was a lot of fun, but I had a lot of pity things today. At first in training, I got the 5-second penalty. I don't know really for what. I think I did turn on the last round, maybe because of that, I don't know. And so I had the grid penalty for 5 places, and then I started from the 13th place.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't do nothing in this race. It was not one of my best, really. So my setup was not the best, and I worked during the race on it, so it was maybe not the best idea. But it was fun. It was really fun. I had a lot of overtakes to do, and some guys overtake me, and yeah, and I had 2 little mistakes with Flex's Mercy today. He was a little bit hard, so and one other thing was that the Hondas had the problem, I don't know what, and yeah, they was in the middle of the track and I overtaked him, and then I get a penalty for him for that, and then I have to wait for it, and yeah, I lost, I don't know, 5-8 seconds because of that.
Was that on the opening lap?
Please?
Was that on the first lap?
No, that was in the race.
Ah,
There was
okay.
a lot of things in the race what destroyed my race.
We've noticed in this race, and indeed last race in Germany, and I think in France as well, you're qualifying on the ultra soft tyres, you're getting really high up the grid, but you're getting eaten up a bit at the start of the race. Are you going to you going to stick with the qualifying on ultra soft tyres, or maybe move over to qualifying on the harder compounds?
Yeah, I hope just to make chaos in the front, you know, that mix everything for the other people. You know, they have the strategies and that mix it, and that because of that they make more mistakes. So it's all.
I like your thinking. So
yeah.
I'm sure next time out in Spa, then we're going to be seeing you on the front row of the grid again.
I hope I will better prepared than for today, for sure.
Well, it's exciting for us because it means you've got to pit early, come out on fresh set of tyres, and you're flying through the field. So I'm perfectly happy with that strategy.
Thank you.
All right. Well, best of luck for Spa then, and thanks again for joining us.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's everyone. All right then. Thank you all, and sorry I muted my mic somehow. But yeah, thanks, and great race to all of you guys.
Great race.
Yep.
Did you record it that you are in Adobe Premiere Pro?
No, I did something earlier this day, but I don't know, it's a bug on Steam.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna leave the voice chat. Well, right guys, that was of course the interviews with our fantastic winners and top 10 and stuff, and this was round 12 from the Hungarian GP. Thank you guys to all of you who watched. The next race will be at Spa-Francorchamps. I don't even know if I pronounced that right. It will be at Spa, at the famous corner with Eau Rouge, Pouon, Blanchimont, La Source, and that's about all of the corners I can remember from that track. But yeah, we will be back live next week on Thursday, same time, 7:45 PM GMT, so 8:45 for most of Europe. So I'll see you guys then. So yeah, see you guys then. Ciao.